Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jason.
And this is our show, Retro Reexamined, where one of us takes a game that the other has never played before.
And then the other one plays it and rates it without the influence of nostalgia.
This is week 2, and since last week I chose Super Punch-Out, now the ball is in Jason's court.
That's right. I chose a game that deals with chameleons, but with a twist. I chose Chameleon Twist 2. Published by Sunsoft in 1998, it was developed by the now-defunct Japan System Supply and a direct sequel to Chameleon Twist, the original N64 game.
The player is given the option of 4 characters: Davy, Jack, Frowny-ass Fred, and Linda, because they needed a girl.
This game only features 6 levels, ranging from Toyland to Skyland. Each level introduces odd enemies and a higher difficulty that one must overcome to complete the level. This game is pretty short, clocking in around 2 hours for an entire playthrough.
The collectibles in this game also unlock different kinds of minigames, including bowling and billiards.
Chameleon Twist is a platforming game with one truly unique mechanic that sets it apart from all others in the N64 library.
As a chameleon, the player must use their extremely long tongue to reach faraway ledges, walls, and poles to pull themselves towards them.
This tongue can also be used to pull in and swallow smaller enemies, before spitting them back out, defeating other, larger enemies that would otherwise be immune to your tongue.
If the player attaches themselves to a pole, they can then swing themselves around it, which not only allows players to overcome obstacles, but looks really cool while doing it.
Pressing Z lets the player use their tongues as a kind of stationary pole vault, allowing them to fling themselves to higher ledges. While in the air, pressing Z provides the player with a parasol to slowly descend and cross larger gaps.
Players must use these skills to make it across linear levels, collecting coins and carrots along the way, which unlock alternate costumes and mini-games respectively.
At the end of every level, there is a boss, such as the Burger King and the Cha-Cha Mushroom. All of these boss fights follow the same pattern. Swallow the boss's helpless minions and spit them back at their overlord. Rinse and repeat. As a 7-year-old kid, platformers were my favorite types of games to play. Games such as Bomberman, Banjo-Kazooie, Glover, Mischief Makers, Super Mario 64, and in this case, Chameleon Twist 2. These games were my favorite because they were the games that not only I was allowed to play, I couldn't purchase games like GoldenEye and Conker's Bad Fur Day as a kid, but I was also playing them with my parents, who taught me how to play most of these platforming games because I couldn't beat some of them as a kid. I learned from them how to do a different specific level or complete a specific obstacle so I could do it myself on my own later. The first Chameleon Twist was one of the first games I have ever rented from Blockbuster. There was a chameleon on the front cover eating an ice cream sandwich. What 7-year-old kid wouldn't want to buy that game? I played it and I got hooked immediately, but I couldn't beat most of the level because I was too young and it was very difficult at the time. I could only beat the first level, and by the end of the week I had to give the game up anyway back to Blockbuster. I was really sad, but I didn't know if I should push my parents for it. But when I saw Chameleon Twist 2 in stores, I knew there was no other choice to make. I had to buy that game. This game continues to be one of my favorite games I have ever played for the N64. In terms of platforming, I think it's one of the biggest sleeper hits that came out for the N64. Besides Glover.
When Jason picked an N64 platformer, I will admit I wasn't very excited about playing this game. I figured there couldn't be any good ones left that I hadn't already played, but I'm happy to admit I was wrong. Obviously, the thing that sets this game apart is the many different things you can do with the chameleon's tongues. I don't think I've ever played a game that has done something like this, and I have to admit, I think it's a pretty good concept. When this game was originally released, it drew a lot of criticism for how easy it was and how short it was. While I think both of those are valid points, neither of them really holds water with me. Let me explain why. First off, this game is pretty short. But in the modern world of gaming, where there are so many games out there that I'll never be able to play, let alone finish, I thought it was kind of refreshing that I could digest this game in one sitting. As far as the difficulty of the game, I have pretty mixed feelings about it. On one hand, the game does give you 10 life, which you can lose from either taking damage from enemies or falling. But towards the later levels, I found myself falling quite a lot and getting some game overs. On the other side of the coin, this game does something that I absolutely hate. Whenever you get a game over, and you're given the option to restart or quit, you don't restart at the beginning of the level, or even at a checkpoint. You restart right where you died, with full health, so really, the challenge is pointless. Another criticism I have of this game is the waiting it forces you to do. There were multiple moments where you're left waiting on a platform to get to somewhere else that is just moving so slow, and I just wanted to get back to slinging my tongue. That being said, when this game does what it wants to do, it does it magnificently. There was a moment in the Toyland level where I was running from a giant alligator and landed on top of a giant toy robot's body, and I was so blown away at the imaginative design of the game, I felt nostalgic towards my childhood, and I've never played this game before.
So, what did you think of Chameleon Twist 2?
I am honestly amazed that I have never heard of this game before. When you booted the game up and you were using the tongue-slinging mechanic, I was blown away at how fun this game looked. Not only did I think the music was extremely catchy, but the gameplay was super original, and I don't think it's been repeated since. But on top of that, the world and the enemies in this game filled me with a childlike sense of wonder that I don't think I've had since I used to play the N64.
That's really great to hear, Zach.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this game.
Alright, that's all for our episode on Chameleon Twist 2. We hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
And if you did enjoy it, we would appreciate it greatly if you left a like, comment, or subscribe to our channel, as it helps us out greatly.
And now you can also find us on Twitter at twitter.com/RetroReexamined.
That's all for now, guys. Thank you very much. Peace.